Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Law of One Spiritual Advice Podcast. My name is Elle. I am going to read some Law of One material today. This is going to be from the LL Research transcripts. I believe it's going to be an older one. It is from Hatan, which is usually older channelings. It looks like 1986, March 23rd is when this one's from. So very old, but as timeless wisdom goes, it is timeless, and it can go on up into the year, 2021. Here we are. All right. So this is Hatan. I just wanted to say about them quickly. So Ra is a sixth density entity, meaning they would be have the perception of unity. And then there is the fifth density entity, a step down from that, which would be wisdom, which is essentially compassionate wisdom. And then down from that would be the fourth density, which would be like the heart chakra. And that would be obviously love and understanding and compassion. So another thing is that fourth density entities were previously in third density. So they generally have more human-like advice. It's more down-to-earth type of advice, or I don't know, I always feel like when I read this material, it really speaks to my heart, and it really moves me, even more so sometimes than the raw material can. So let's begin, and I will read it. Quote begins, "The Creator subjectively seems to offer a great deal that is bitter. It is as if the Creator were handing you a cup full of bitter wine, and yet because the hand holding the cup is the Creator's, in faith we drink it, and it is bitter. The faith in which you take the most bitter drink within this illusion is in essence the faith that the Creator, being in right relationship with you, shall give you that which shall seem bitter, but which is in the end sweet and rich. We ask you to turn to the illusion, for it is important that you spend these last moments of your infinite experience in compassionate scrutiny and the most honest reaction and interaction to and with the bitter cup with which you may be asked to drink. We ask you not to flinch from this experience, but insofar as it is possible at any given moment, we ask you to gaze without regret at all which seems bitter and difficult, for this has been given you with the greatest love and wisdom. To transcend that which grinds the soul into numbness is to shake off all suppositions of the unfairness and unjustness of the creation in its relationship to you. You may picture the greatest and most terrible torture. The limits of your imagination are all that limit the possibilities of difficulty within this most intense illusion. And yet it is the Creator's hand which has dealt you these bitter things and has asked you to taste them and accept them and to see through them into the graves of pain and agony and towards the transformation and purification of the self, so that the relationship between you and your Creator grows ever more intimate and trusting, until finally the paradox of separation betwixt Creator and created is at an end, and the hand that serves the cup is your own." Hatan, The Law of One, 1986, March 23rd. That is a beautiful quote. So mainly what comes to mind when I read this is faith and trust in the Creator. If you really truly believe that we are one and that there is a infinite Creator out there and that you are part of that infinite creation, then you kind of have trust in the plan, in thy will be done. Although right now we are in third density and we're behind the veil and we don't know what's going on, that is my understanding for a purpose. It's for a reason. We're here not to know. However, you and your higher self, which is you from the future, an amalgamation of all your incarnations, all put into one, and is this great storehouse of wisdom that is your higher self in sixth density. That portion of you lays out a incarnational plan with the Creator, because that sixth density entity is closer to the Creator than you would be in third density, but you can trust in that plan. Before you came to this third density, the infinite wisdom of the Creator laid out a sort of plan, and we may think that it's impossible that a plan could be so intricate that no matter what free will decision you make within it could be accounted for. And that, to my understanding, is exactly what happens, is that no matter what decision you make, you cannot necessarily escape your lessons. Your lessons are built in. You and your wise oversoul have decided that this is a good thing for you to learn, and you will learn it. And no matter how many times you say no or yes or whatever you end up choosing in that regard, that catalyst will come your way. And to be noted in that same regard is the fact that catalyst can repeat, and it often does repeat. So are you going to learn from the catalyst and have it work as a circle where it just keeps hitting you in the butt over and over? Or are you going to rise up, in which case, like a spiral, instead of a 2D circle, you are now rising on a spiral moving up. So although the same catalyst does come around over and over again, your lessons come around over and over again, you're able to see them from a higher perspective. Although having that catalyst and having to deal with it may seem repetitive, if you're learning, you learn like with longevity. You learn not just for a short period of time. So if you really did learn your lesson, that catalyst can repeat, and it can repeat over and over and over again, and your reaction to it over and over and over again would be pure if you truly had learned that lesson. So with that, you basically can trust that no matter what happens to you, you can't really escape your lessons. I suppose that's either a good or a bad thing. I see it as a good thing, because no matter what mistakes I may make or seeming screw-ups that I may do, I can always trust that as long as my intention is pointed in the right direction, which is I'm trying to do my best, trying to serve, then the creation will hopefully lay itself out in a way that works, because even though my life this far has not necessarily gone exactly how I thought it would, and obviously there would be ups and downs, and in those down times I would think to be discouraged, but here I am, and I don't think I really regret who I am right now, and I'm very grateful for whatever it took to get me to who I am right now and these perspectives. So that can kind of double back again so that when I'm given the bitter cup, I can drink the bitterness and understand that although it may seem bitter now, maybe in hindsight it will be very sweet. And then I always like to think of it logically, because I'm somewhat of a logical being. So I was told by Ra, unity means that the creator is everything, everyone, which means that there's no matter what happens, anything that you interact with is creator interacting with creator. And thus, the creator can transform and bend to whatever circumstances that are within your life or within the illusion in order to teach you the lessons you need to learn. Okay, so I just want to highlight this one part here. They say, I'm just going back to read part of it. They say, we ask you to turn to the illusion, for it is important that you spend these few moments of your infinite experience in compassionate scrutiny and the most honest reaction and interaction to and with the bitter cup and which you may be asked to drink. So with that, I suppose and this is sort of the overall message of it, is to understand that the illusion is not easy. We have come here to understand that we do not understand, which means that it's very frustrating. The illusion is meant to confuse us. We are meant to be thrown off from when we feel that we know. We will be more confused. It's just the nature of the place that we're here. The more that our intellect and the smart part of yourself thinks, yeah, I got this, I know exactly what's going on, the more that you are going to get a swift kick in the behind. It's good to be somewhat skeptical. I'm not saying to be completely unconfident in your choices and the things that you do, but always be a little unsure, I suppose, or I don't know, I suppose what they say, Ross says, to leave this density, one must understand that they do not understand. So get yourself out there into the illusion. You don't understand what's going on. That's okay. It's because the idea is to baffle the intellect to a point that you decide, hey, maybe it's worth opening my heart. Maybe no matter what's happening intellectually in front of me, I need to just love it. And that is, in essence, the the winning ingredients for this illusion. You want to learn to see with the eyes of love, and the more that you try to see with the eyes of intellect, although it is helpful and can show you things, it will always be not the complete picture. And so you want to have that love included in order to have the widest and most accurate perception of how things are. And then I suppose lastly, I would just say I can think of another quote, which is always one of my favorite, and it's always stuck with me, and it is, set your intention to serve, and you shall serve beyond your wildest dreams. So although the illusion is bitter and it sucks sometimes, if you set out to serve, you are a candle in the darkness. You're a light in the darkness. You could wallow in pity, or you could set out to serve. And what do you know? When you help others, it makes you feel great too. And then you've solved the paradox of service, where it doesn't have to be one leeching off the other. You help somebody, you are helped in return. Everybody wins. Great. So that's the idea of oneness. That's the idea of service to others. I hope that you bring that energy with you into the weekend, and using your heart and considering what it is to put down the intellect. I am one of these intellectual beings, and it has taken me a long time to learn to use my heart, and I am very grateful that I have learned to do so. So I would very much encourage it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Happy Friday to you. If this information sat well with you, you can get it for free on my website, theoneinfinitecreator.com, and there are links for free to all of this information. Please give us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about these. Tell me some thoughts. Whenever I read your guys' comments, it always stirs up something in me, reminds me of a quote of something that I can post out to the world and then read some comments on. So yeah, thanks everybody. Love you guys. Have a great one.